stand with Ukraine. No! Palestine is more oppressed. But first, talk about Kashmir. You haven't done enough for Muslims in China. Talk about what Americans have done instead. When I was younger, my grandma taught me to care about all human lives equally. But now that I'm older, I start to question how many people believe in that. See, a while ago I went to Ukraine. The sirens are ringing. I saw weeks-long traffic of cars trying to get out. I touched destroyed Russian tanks. I visited places where lives were lost. I spoke to the locals and felt their pain.
I think at first, yeah, it was very hard to take, and for a lot of us it was a huge trauma.
I was even secretly invited to the presidential palace and spoke to Andrei Yermak. It was a true honor. But see, even though the war in Ukraine was deeply personal to me, even though my grandparents live in fear that the war might reach them, I couldn't silence the voices in my head. Why don't you talk about Afghanistan, Ethiopia, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, United States, Libya, Israel, Palestine? Here I was, visiting a war-torn country, a potentially dangerous place. This is a bulletproof vest. Seeing their humanitarian needs. Yet I was still thinking about the people on the internet who would criticize me for being here and not somewhere else. And that experience leads me to something that I've been struggling with for the last year. Nightfam, we need to talk about the Oppression Olympics, where people insist their pain and oppression are more important than that of others. And the award for the most oppressed goes to... And before you get mad at me, let me tell you that after over 9 billion views every single time, when I decide to cover something important, there are thousands of comments from people demanding that I cover their problem instead. And it was especially when the war in Ukraine began earlier this year that people would criticize me for covering it and not their wars. It didn't matter that Project Nightfall made a video about this before, whether it's Muslim mistreatments in China, the dark side of the United States, or the wrong actions of the Israeli government. No matter what we do, people always come to demand more. I have never spoken about this before, but last year, the same people got me into heavy mental health problems. When Israel bombed Palestine, I began working on a long documentary about this. Shooting, writing, tens of hours of research, countless interviews with people on the ground.
I've been present in Gaza since 2000.
I have a master's in history and I focused on 2 time periods.
But as I tirelessly worked on it, with every single video I released on my channel that spoke about something different, the pro-Palestine people started getting more and more impatient. From spamming negative comments, to spreading fake news about me, to sending me death threats. It got so bad that even my partner would receive heavy hate on her channels. And after months of hard work, for the first time in my career, I was forced to give up. I realized that I started disliking the very people I wanted to help, all because they were running in the Oppression Olympics. In these Olympics, they may have won this senseless war they fought against me, but somewhere along the way, they lost themselves. See, when my grandma used to teach me that I have to care about human lives equally, She was right. We do need to see humans as equals. But in the world where we hear about countless tragedies every single day, it is perfectly normal to ignore one thing and care about another thing. You're not a bad person for not caring about the crisis in Haiti or Myanmar right now. You are a bad person when you try to belittle their pain. When all you see is how you are more oppressed than them, how your problems deserve more attention than the problems of other people. Because if there's one thing that I know for certain, it is that regardless of nationality, background or religion, human pain should never be seen as a competition that you run in. Pain should never be compared. As I came back from my truly transforming trip to Ukraine, today I stand with humanity. And whatever war you're fighting right now, Nightfam, after hearing about the problem with running in the Oppression Olympics, I hope you stop and stand together with me.